You, beloved and holy YouTube friends. Reddit is not live just yet. I think I'm gonna dance to start today's stream off. Feel a little bit yes. Exactly. I'm gonna play this song. I still have some stuff to get. Okay, sicketh. Now we can go live on Reddit? Indeed? And greetings unto you, beloved and holy Reddit friend. Thank you for joining me here again. I'm gonna go get some few more things. Maybe we'll like read a cheeky thing we're saying beforehand, and then I'm gonna dance my little heart out. At least I'll dance as much as my heart wants to be danced out. I'm on my third day of fasting, so you're gonna have to wish me luck. You're gonna have to send me a lot of energy because I don't have a lot of energy. I have a lot of mental energy, but I don't have a lot of physical energy. There we go. Last few things have been gotten. Thing we're saying is gonna go something like, nah, 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 nah. Everything is a web of relationships. That's what it says. Does that fit in with not feeling guilty? I think so. I think it does. For this body is but a third dimensional form of attention. How about that, Maxine? Not getting too caught up with the 3D, right? To see the 3D as a form of attention. That the 5D is gratitude, cooperation, to acknowledge that all of these 3D things are happening, but to still live in the 5D of cooperation, love, unity, understanding. How about that? Yeah, yeah, gang, gang. It's still windy, as August tends to be. Did mention a little bit of that yesterday. It makes more sense now, so I kind of feel like I'm more soft about it. Big healing energy for everyone. Thank you, Gateway Process. Even Nova is joining us today. How sick! Love to you too, Nova. Again, Goo, Shannon and Nana. So much love to all of you friends. I'm crushing a little bit of marijuanas because a part of me wants to smanks when I dance. There's a little cannabis seed, And there's two options. I can save said seed, or I can just eat it. Get some of that. Get some of that good oils. Did I just break my fast? Some might say yes. I believe that little bit of calories won't do too much damage. Suddenly that little seed becomes 10,000 calories, just transforms in my stomach or something. Go gadget, become more food or something. What am I doing? What am I even talking about? Save the seed. Maxine, I have so many of them. That's the thing. I have so many of them. Like I have like little individual packet bankies, little plastic bags. I don't know afterwards, that have like labels on them, so I know which seeds are which seeds came from which plants. So I have all of that information and the seeds that go along with them. I do save the ones that I really feel I need to save, but that one I kind of wanted to eat. Hello, all you beautiful Reddit friends. Hope you're well. Thank you, beloved Truth, for sending love to our Reddit friends as well. Okay. Enough shenanigans. I can't words. Enough shenana zagizing. Yes. More dancing. First smonking. Without any guilt. That's our thing today. Like I'm gonna smoke this marijuanas, and I will feel zero guilt. Not even like a smidget of guilt. Like in fact, I will feel less guilty after having smoked than I normally would. Oh, goodness. That'll do it. Oh, goodness. Send help, please. Someone send help. But not before.
Universe. The universe is then one, infinite, immobile. It is not capable of comprehension, and therefore is endless and limitless. And to that extent, infinite and indeterminable, and consequently immobile.
So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking the news. Get up.
can handle some more. See, if this track does it for me, that's it. I'm doing this whole stream as a thank you to you. Maybe a little slower, probably not. That track absolutely slaps, but I have been slapped already. My body needs some rest. Oh, my body has confessed. Let me rest, let me rest, let me rest. Oh, please, I confess. Let me rest, let me rest. Pepe is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Man, I'm actually surprised. I don't feel like I'm dying. Isaac, dude, I was gonna reach out to you today. Be like, hey Holmes, missed your presence. And then I was thinking to myself, am I being pushy if I do that? Isaac is doing Isaac things. He says it's been absent as of late, but he's practicing loving awareness nonetheless. Much love and appreciation to you all. You are here with us, Brother Beck. Yo, if you're here in this space right now, or if you're here in this space right now, you can never be separate, by the way. We love you so much. Your presence is missed, very much so. But your presence is appreciated more. Like this whole stream is about not feeling guilty about things. Let me explore. You know, Alan Watts has this beautiful lecture on the guilt-based mentality that gets imposed on a lot of us by our parents. The story that they tell us that, oh, I had to sacrifice this and that. Do you know how much so and so costs? You shouldn't be doing so and so because other people can't. Guilt, 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 guilt. It imprints in a way where we almost start believing that we, just for existing, are guilty of something. Just being. Yes, I'm sitting down. This creeping feeling. You should be doing something. You useless nothingness. You're not earning income right now. You're not learning something right now. You shouldn't be sitting down meditating. You should feel guilty. Huh? Why do we have that part inside of us? Why do we give it so much credence? Why do we believe it? Why do we believe it? And not only do we believe it, but society at large, and especially those who have garnered some level of power, knows. They know and they use it against us. They use our guilt against us, setting up religions in a way where you're more guilty, literally more guilty, if you don't heed the religion than you would be if you never became a part of the religion. The fuck? No, you're not guilty of anything, friend. You are worthy. You get to exist. You get to breathe air. You get to drink water. You get to eat food. Please don't feel guilty about that. You know, it's a whole other thing if you're taking resources from others to do all of those things. But existing in and of itself, you deserve that, yo. You deserve to have a good life. Believe that about yourself. I beg of you. I really beg of you. Do gateway, of course. Truth. Absolutely. Nova, I'm doing well. So happy to hear that. X Harrison sending you extra love, Shannon. Love and hugs to you. I be Goob Goblin for tunes. I feel it, Gateway Goob Goblin Nova. Skibbity bop doop. That sounds like some sort of, contrived lyrics to some thick beats. I be Goop Goblin for some tunes. I feel it, Gateway Goop the Nova. Just like nonsense words. But you're like, yeah, yeah, vibe it to it. Why do you feel guilty, Melt? I don't, friend. I was just thinking about this mentality, especially when it comes to earning potential. We like look at our peers and then we're like, yeah, if I followed this path or if I followed that path, maybe this thing or that thing would be differently. Feeling guilty even about following the path you are following and what's going to be required of you in following it. I'm just trying to almost like bring into reflection today these things that we feel guilty about. Not saying that we do, not saying that I do, not saying that any of us don't, right? But just reflecting on it, asking ourselves why, maybe seeing why we think, sharing why we think with one another and growing as collective. Melt has iron lungs. Yes, I do believe so. I think it's the swimming as a kid, like swimming for 7 years. Definitely did help. It's so funny. As soon as music plays, little Papa decides to join in. I'm convinced at this point she assumes that me putting on music means it's time to dance. To her, it's probably just play. Doing well, Shan. Just trying to get into the groove of classes. You so got this. About to head into photography classes soon. Learning about all of those ratios. Learning about all of those apertures. All of those ISO settings. All of those compositions. All of those color balances. All of them. I'm trying to think about the fractal you're going to be participating in. Do share with us, friend. Sending you so much love. Thank you for sharing as much as you have. She is the sweetest. She's quite something. I look over and she's taking a dump. It's so beautiful. I'm like, oh, she's quite something. Just like squatting down. Start scrubbing eyes. Just looked into the eye of Sauron. I'm sorry for the information. She is the sweetest though. Mouth look like he's having a good time. I tried to, friend. You know, I do this dance as an actual thank you to you friends. You know, very specifically the Patreon supporters, but to every single person that chooses to tune in, chooses to be here in a moment, even to just see that it's a thank you. It's a deep and heartfelt. Thank you. Thank you, dear friend. Thank you so much. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate it. You've changed my life. You've changed my life. And we get to continue to. We get to continue to, in this moment, on this day. It will always be this day when I say this day. This day tomorrow is still this day right now. But then, right? And we get to be in this moment with one another instead of being anywhere else within this infinite, like, scattering of universe. We get to be in a moment together. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you for the love, Shan. The grass must be prickle free. Sometimes I stepped on a bone, which I yeeted, but that was the only damage sustained today at least. Amanda, dancing time indeed. Sending you love, my friend. I would hope that this is my first rodeo. It's definitely looking to be a year of fun. I'd be down to post my work too if you'd like. Please, please, we have a whole Discord for stuff like that. Jabbing in my cubicle. I'm just imagining like this, a gray office space, and then there's just like this, like at this cubicle, right, like cut off halfway through the office space, and then it's just like extreme brightness and this beam of cubic light hitting the ceiling and just like changing colors and like absolute thumps, waves of sound coming over all of the cubicle peoples. Everybody starts dancing. Everybody starts having a good time. Everybody starts. Thank you for being a note of consciousness like that, because that is technically what's happening, right? It mightn't be as visual. Everybody around might not be able to see it, but I can see it. I'm seeing it right now, beloved Gateway Goblin. Thank you, friend. Sure, Contudes. I love to see you work. Thank you. We would really like to. Seriously, friend. You got anything you would like to see, Shan? Anything you feel proud of? Anything you would like to share? 5 minutes of dancing is nothing. Nova? If you say so. I'm down for whatever you got, my friend. Thank you for that. Beautiful. I was just saying, if you had any ideas, I could make something RQ, relative quality. If not, I'll be sure to make something, some melty content and throw it in the Discord for you to enjoy. Please, dear friend, we would love to see your work, sharing the creation that is your soul. Literally, without your soul in this creation, the things you create ceases being in infinity. And yet, since you're here, all of that is within infinity. How sicketh! Can't feel guilty, friend. Just you being here is the ultimate gift. Literally, you being here is a gift. You don't get to be guilty. You know, I'll be surprised, but I do love me some flowers. Thank you, Contudes. I can't wait to see it. Me too. A little bit biased, super into the flowers. Appreciate y'all here. Love again to you, brother Isaac. I haven't seen Hermes Fleur the Cup in a long time. Nova, he's been here every single day. How have you been? It is kind of getting late for you. I'm still surprised that you ever tuned in, actually. The absolute joy in my heart, Dan, watching you dance, pal. Thank you so much, Shan. You'd never be received as pushy, my friend. All communications between friends is guilt-free in my book. I just respect you. I respect you so much, Brother Bay, and I know you will always make the right decision. Even if the right decision in your world is to never come back into the space ever again, I would respect you fully because I believe you're a wise right? Literally, Brother Bear. I just love you, man. I'm sending that love to you. Also, I've been absent for a long time, 20 days. You've been counting? Just like doing push-ups. Gonna get so yoked. I'm gonna drink so much water before I go back to Melt stream. And it comes back into the stream. It's like, fuck, Melt, I've not been drinking water. I haven't been getting yoked. Why, Nova? Why? What's keeping you, Fred? What's keeping you from drinking all of that water and getting all of that yolk? Thank you, beautiful Fred. Thank you, Cartoons. You know, like I'm starting to get a reading on Nova. Gonna have to strong arm Nova into self-improvement. Just gonna like Nova, drink some water right now. Isaac, thanks. Been smoking way too much weed and vegging out a bit. It's been a great days though. Slow, cloudy, but very aware and present. You've been, Fred. Again, the guilt we assign to ourselves for having a certain experience instead of another experience. To just recognize that the fact that there is an experience is not only a gift to yourself, a gift to yourself in this moment, but a gift to the whole. As you mentioned, you've been present, Brother Bear. You've been aware. You've been, loving on your beloved, on your pets. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to have guilt over. It's good to have patterns. It's good to recognize the things that you feel guilty about and ask yourself, is there something to be improved on? But to not do that from a place of guilt, but do that from a place of love. Again, for yourself, as a gift to yourself. It's a ceaseless process. I was bored last night and I really tried to sit with the feelings of you should be doing whatever, allowing myself to feel it and pay attention to it as it unravels. Bored is good. It allows for inspiration and rest. I love doing nothing worth doing. What a reminder that whether you fill your time with accomplishments or pointlessness, the time is equally as full. Brother Wyzik, is like, what, Melt? Listens in for less than, 30 minutes. It's like, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Isaac. That's it, Brother Bear. And we get to accomplish, we get to be present, we get to show up like this in the spaces, and this is my way of showing up every single day for something that I love deeply to do and something that I feel with my showing up for it, with my love for it, can in turn help the world, make the world a more beautiful place. And you can do that too in your life, painting, with your career, with your family, with a relationship you've been struggling with your pets, with plants, whatever your fractal is, whatever you feel is your way of bringing more beauty into the world, do that, please, please. And if we can all do that, this time is going to be worth it, and even if it's smoking a lot of weed and vegging out because you feel so overwhelmed by the amount of anxiety you're experiencing about what's going on in the world, to be present with that, to acknowledge that, to not perpetuate patterns without being aware of the patterns you're perpetuating. Make it obvious to yourself, like, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it for these reasons. It's temporary. This is not me. This is not what I identify as because I'm doing it. This is something that's happening and I'm here for it. I am observing it. And then within that state, I feel we have so much more power to pivot and start doing things differently. I see you being aware, Brother Bear. I applaud you for that. Don't feel guilty for anything. I know, and I know. You're like, Mel, you can't say that to people. I say the extreme so that you find balance. I don't know anything. Do not listen to me, please. Listen to yourself after listening to me. Be like, Melt is crazy. Can't say shit like that. And then you're like, why do I feel you can't say shit like that? Do I believe you can't say shit like that because that's what I believe? Or is that something society has made me? That's me turning knobs on you as the universe. Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do that. Thank you, Joy V, for being here now. Not late, but here, present. Why is it so hard to think so deeply sometimes? Yesterday is not today. It's always a new day with a different experience. Isn't that fun? It is. This moment is ceaselessly new, but it's always this moment. That part doesn't change. everything within that moment changes, but the moment doesn't change. It's contrived. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and yet here we are experiencing it. Real quick, Amanda, love again. Real quick to you. Always good to see you, Isaac. I always think that as well, being in constant anxiety of lack of action is a poison for creativity. Being okay with being stagnant, there are both extremes though. It's in finding the balance within yourself. You know, we live in a society where we get bombarded with so many examples of what success is supposed to look like, how fast it's supposed to happen, how exponential it's supposed to go, how much impact it's supposed to have in a certain time frame. You know, like there's so many expectations that have been portrayed to us because that's what we have access to with these devices, forgetting that that is an experience, right? It's an experience you can have in the infinity. It doesn't have to be your experience. And as soon as we kind of like escape the mentality of certain experiences are worth having more than other experiences, as soon as we start realizing that each and every single one of us is a godhead, you know, a godhead is this witnesser within infinity. If you're witnessing infinity right now, looking, you can like, if there was no atmosphere, right, you would now, or no atmosphere, no sun in the sky, I would see the stars. The stars are still there. They're still there. The light is just not reaching me because of this overbearing light that's coming from the side. But all of it is still there, going into infinity, right? Like as I'm looking here, there are still planets, whole galaxies, whole civilizations. You witnessing all of that, filtering most of it so that you can have this experience, so you can survive in this experience. Not realizing what you are sometimes. Even compressed, pushed down, limited to not, you know. And I think the important thing again to realize is that we're not on a time frame, that you are an infinite consciousness choosing to experience this version of self, of yourself. This is looking down at your hands. This is what you think of as yourself. But the same yourself that I think of as myself, I just think of as yourself because it's myself. And you think the same thing about yourself. But the thing that thinks, the thing at least that observes the thinking, is the same essence. There is no separating from that. And I feel that part of ourselves is free from guilt completely because it just observes. It'll observe horrific things. It will observe beautiful things. It'll observe someone stomping a little flower into the ground in the same capacity that it will observe someone giving a puppy little scritches, you know, and it will just be there. And then your mind will be like, ah, story, 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 story. And you're like, yeah, story, story. And your body doesn't know the difference. It just listens. So it's like, oh, story, story, story. And your body goes, you know, into some sort of reaction. Just being aware that we do that, living in that place of being guilt free, but being able to do that from a place where we can implement some sort of action to find some sort of balance, to not chase some sort of archetype, to not chase some sort of way that things have been done, and because they were done in this way, it kind of elicited this response or this result. To just do things the way that you feel you should, you know, to listen to the things you want to do and to start showing up for them. To not feel guilty about the amount of things that you're not doing, but to take some time in your day to maybe sit down and at first just think about the things you want to be doing. Maybe, you know, a week down the line, doing that, just sitting down for 10 minutes and thinking about the things you want to do. Start writing them down in a little notebook, you know. 3 more weeks go by. Start trying one of those things. You know, it's an exponential thing. The trajectory you take right now, for instance, if, you know, a plane takes off from, you know, South Africa going to Egypt, you know, and it puts itself like 3 degrees from South Africa off kilter of the line it was supposed to travel on. It will literally be separated by 10,000 kilometers, maybe not that much, maybe like 8,000 kilometers just for that 3-degree shift. And showing up every day for something that you love is you shifting in degrees, closer and closer to the divinity that is you, the creator inside of you, the one that creates a life that you don't want to escape. And I feel maybe that's where the guilt comes from. It is the part of ourselves that tells the story about what life is supposed to look like. And then it tells you that because of certain things, and it might even be right sometimes, but it tells you, that's its MO, tells you because of certain things aren't the way that they could have been. And yet, if things were the way that they could have been, you wouldn't be the way you are. And think about how much you've changed already, how much work you had to do to be who you are, to be as stable as you are, to be as intuitive and aware as you are, right? Like everything comes with a price. And I feel the price of suffering, or maybe the reward of suffering, is just awareness, compassion even. Gives you a sense of understanding about what life is about and what people are experiencing, how much more compassionate you could be to make this experience better for other people instead of worse. How did you know, Mel, that I haven't been drinking enough water? Because I'm clairvoyant or whatever, dude. Start chugging, Nova. I'll do it right now. 1 liter of water. There you go. I love water. Cheers. I love water too, Gob. I drink so much. I drink minimum 4 liters a day at this point. 2 of these bad boys. They're 2-liter bottles. At least 2 liters a day. It's a good margin to go by. It's not that difficult. I mean, it's like 8 glasses of water, which sounds extreme, but a glass of water is 250 mils. So 4 of them is a liter, 8 of them is 2 liters. What I do to ensure that I drink enough water is to almost trigger a certain type of response in my brain, where as soon as I feel water touch my lips, I drink until I don't want to anymore. In a forceful way, a little bit. I really try to drink as much as I can, because all of the excess water will just be given back to the world. It might take you more trips around the world. Yes, articulating so beautifully to keep the fractals PG or whatever. Oh goodness. And it helps. It helps your skin, especially. It helps your brain, it helps your liver out, helps your kidneys. Your whole body is just like, yes, we love this. Please keep it up. Yeah, loving water is loving yourself. Since we're mostly water, Joy Vive, freaking tuned into the max. You're 70% water. So if you love water, you love yourself at least 70% more. That's quick maths. That's how it works, right? That is it. I love your gummy self, Joy Vive. Thank you for that. So beautiful, brother bear. We love you. I just imagine Isaac as like a cosmic call center worker, ringing up and asking philosophical questions. He just gives you a quick melting saying and sends you on your way. Just like, instead of like Alcohol's Anonymous, it's just like, I'm getting too convinced that I'm separate, and you're just like, squeebity squabbity, squabbity screw, melts back into unity. Oh, I'm not separate at all. You look at that. I don't have anything to fear, because I am anything that there could be to fear. And to fear is in itself fearing myself. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Nope. Thank you, brother Wising. I'm super melty again. Tunes out. Tunes back in when he needs it. I love it, dude. I'll pay you for it, brother bear. You just tell me your salary, man. Thank you for calling Existential Enterprises. This is Wising. How can I help you? I love that, dude. I drink almost a liter of water. I drank too much, and now it feels like I cough up some water. You don't have to overdo it all right now, right? Like, you drink 500 mils as you wake up, and then an hour later you drink another 500 mils. and then an hour later you drink another 500 mils, and then throughout the day it's like easy peasy. You're drinking 4 liters of water. Oh Nova, let it rest. Maybe set a good timer for, there we go, every time 10 minutes to take a solid sip, and keep it up all day. That's the way, you know. That way you're giving your body the water it needs throughout the day. You'll feel amazing for it, dude. I'm serious. I consumed a few little wizard hat looking mushies before work today. You know, that's like the irony of, in a way, the age we've been in as well, Isaac, where our, you know, 1960s hippies were taking psychedelics to drop out. Us hippies are taking psychedelics to drop in, to take psychedelics to be even more creative so that we can create things. Take mushrooms so that we can be even more present within our, you know, our job or whatever. It's a beautiful expression of what we've been conditioned to do, and yet it's also a moment to reflect of what we're capable of. To be able to go through an experience and still go about doing so without any societal guilt or whatever. I find we picture our goal for ourselves too heavily as creating balance. The idea that we create a balanced situation kind of goes back on our conversation of being comfortable. You're really right. The minute we feel balanced is precisely the time the capacity for imbalance is created. Maybe instead of creating balance, we strive to not resist a flow. We in some way find comfortability within stagnation, but stagnation is something that's not possible. There is only that flow, and us trying to resist that flow could potentially create a moment of comfortability, you know, like you being in a raft, trying to sleep in the raft, and it's like going through rushes, you know, and then it like hits up against a little cliff, and then it gets lodged, and then for a few moments you're comfortable, and you're like, oh, I can actually sleep now, instead of being actively in the raft. Wow! 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 You're right, like, because that's what life is. I love that, brother Isaac. Thank you for turning knobs on my infinity, man. Sana is here as well to influence us. Send good vibes into our brain, Sana, please. Even the feelings of paying attention to a thought is itself an appearance in consciousness. There is no center, no author, sitting at a desk creating our experience. The flow of thought, nature, soul is always there. We can only sit in the boat or struggle in the rapids trying to halt the river. Dude, no way, you see. Yes, dude. Yes, exactly. Yes, I've healed from my past wounds, mostly, and now I feel much more free inside. Keep doing that, brother bear. Melt those layers of separation, those layers of trauma, those layers that come in the form of stories, you know, things that have happened to you. Melt it away, and realize that there you are, without all of it. Lindsay, it's nice to have you here with me. Thank you for joining us, beloved friend. Okay, I'm so sorry, brother Dan. I'm so sorry, dude. I hope Dan is still here. I'm so begged. Yes, he is. Yes. I just scrolled down to make sure Dan is still here. Melts, guys, just now. Love you, Dan. Freaking love you so much, brother Bear. I'm so sorry. King Ko is here as well. I see Truth is joining us here. Of course, beloved Maxine. We have Ransu, probably not here anymore. Brother Dan, let me see. Melt Fam, never catch a dancing stream. I never get to catch, and here you are, dude. Thank you, Dan. Dan is one of the Patreon supporters as well, so brah. Literally a dance for you, Rambler is one of the Patreon supporters. Thank you, brah. Thank you, Melt throwing that absolutely killed me. I'm happy. It was a bone. I stepped on a freaking bone that one of these little critters chewed and left on the grass for me to step on. Huh? Little silly thingies. Yeah, you silly. You silly things. Fortunately, didn't step too hard down on it. Happens to be the stress, but also the genetics. If your plant starts to hurt me, you can just grab the stalk and pull up hard until you have a few roots break, or lots of them shuck it out there. Oh, tough love. I didn't even know that's possible. I didn't know that you would have to care about that for hemp plants. I know that you care about that for marijuana plants, but didn't know for the hemp. That must have hurt stepping on a bone. I did that before. It really hurts. Yeah, it did, but it's in the past. You know, that pain was. It no longer is. At least I didn't feel any of it. There's no residual pain. My body is actively healing itself. I'm feeling stronger, more aware, more present, more capable every single day. The power that flows through me flows through all, back to the all, back to me, back to the all, back to me, back to you, back to us, back to everything, back to this moment. There is no separating ourselves. Everything is a web of relationship. That's the thing that we were talking about, or one of the things that we read worth saying at the start of the stream, is that everything is a web of relationship. That feeling guilty within that web of relationship literally hurts the web of relationship. You as self hurting yourself by feeling guilty about self being itself. Wow, you lost so much weight since I last saw you. Thank goodness. Uh, what even? Thank and the grass isn't as dead as it before. Yeah, yeah, I did lose a lot of weight, and the grass is just in a different perspective. There are still dead spots, as there sometimes do be. Thank you for your criticism and your encouragement of getting even better grass and getting even more Yoketh. I'm gonna get so freaking Giga Chad 9000 Yoketh that you're just going to be like, who is this? You know, why doesn't he have to sit on the ground and stuff? Why does he just float 4 inches off the ground at all times? And be like, because. Because remember that one time you were like, oh, man, and I was like, you know. Oh, thank you for the gov. Thank you for the love. Miss Molly is joining us too. Thank you, Miss Molly. Where is that? This is South Africa. Never mind, you're not in your backyard. Yes, I am actually the immortal. I am, friend. I've seen when the temperatures get too intense, and that's why I'm curious if Melty has gone through with that. I mean, I have pulled a few of my male. I got male plants. You know, I don't know if you were asking about that. I thought you were about to sing my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. There was one of the geese kind of walked around the corner, and as soon as I started singing, I just see this dude staring at me. He's like, "What is happening?" Yeah, I'm coming. My body is telling me to hunt and eat you, but my mind is telling me no. I'm fasting right now. You're lucky. You're lucky, Goosey. You're super lucky. What? What? He's challenging me. That's what he's like. He's like, come on, bitch. I dare you. Or something like that. I thought you were. Thank you again for the love. The most time, not always. It's worth a shot if your plant is hermit. Yeah, I can imagine. Usually I just pull them, start with a new seed, but that might be a little bit aggressive. Guilt-based mentality was very difficult to get over. When I was first starting my manifesting journey, as soon as you drop the guilt and replace it with the knowledge that you're worthy of abundance, everything shifts. For me, it's not even worthy of abundance, but just gratitude at this point. You know, like instead of believing in some way that I'm worthy, I almost prove myself worthy by just being grateful. You know, to be grateful for myself as the balancing point between ultimate evil and ultimate good. You know, that I'm not ultimate good and I'm not ultimate evil, that I'm somewhere within that infinity, and that I get to be that. I get to be grateful. I don't have to be in some way guilty because I am in some way a part of this infinity, instead of creating some sort of narrative of separation because I'm on one side or another, to just be without the guilt, to be grateful for yourself as the balance. You are the balance going through the flow. You are the crossing point, right? That is balance within that crossing point within the infinity, right, Isaac? But that is the flow. You are the flow and the balance. There is no separating you. It's a whole trip. When my parents try to do the guilt thing, I just do the Sith Lord thing. Good. Release your anger. Only your hatred can destroy me. Yes. I feel that actually. Yeah, Maxine is also yes. I'm a nerd. We all are, but man, we love you for it. I like your style. Thank you, Ransu. I love yours too, friend. I'm just a reflection of you after all. You guys, last night I saw 3 red UFOs come out of the little tree line and out in the night sky silently. It was so trippy. The aliens are here. Please, aliens, I'm here. I want to be a diplomat for the aliens. Like, I want to be like, hey, human beings, check out my homies, aliens. And I'm going to be like, hey, aliens, check out my homies, humans. And then we're going to smoke joints together. We're going to, like, I don't know, smoke some sort of alien hookah, get super ziggity zoinked or something, just together with no guilt. No hatred towards one another, no animosity, just like vibes. How about that? I'm gonna do that one of these days, and suddenly I'm gonna be like, teleporter beamed up to a ship or something, and there's just gonna be no melt again. Please, like, bring me back after we get like gigazoinked with like some sort of alien hookah. Like, bring me back, like, preferably 24-hour period. You can like bring me back in the exact same clothing, bewildered. As long as I can go live again. I would be so sick. Please, please, I know you're listening! Aliens! I know. Are they listening? Maybe they're just like sitting next to me right now and they're like, why is he screaming? You're the one that's too stupid to see us, so get with the times. How about you get good, noob? I'm fine! Fine! I will! I will get good. Look at this creature. Yeah. Yeah, little entity on my lap. Yes. Yeah. Why do I suddenly feel like I took some sort of villain archetype? Maybe it's the head patting of my lap dog. Huh, Mr. Bond. Let me tell you about all of the elaborate ways I'm going to end the world, giving you just enough time to plan your very contrived escape. We're not doing that? Okay, fine. Just go. Geese are terribly mean and aggressive. What's up with that? They're cobra chickens, Like, they just kind of got a bad rap. Freaking chickens, but also cobras. So they're like, guess I'm mean and I hiss at things. I really don't actually enjoy beef, but they are quite something. Okay, there we go. Melt, I just choked on my Doritos at work, realizing we said almost the same thing 10 minutes apart, dude. And the fact that you had the exact same thing to say, but in my analogy, thinking about comfort as you actually mistakenly getting stranded against something and then getting torn away from that, I was like, that's such a beautiful way to see it. And then you were literally seeing it that way in the same almost fractal, like you were saying the thing you had in your mind, and then saying that thing led to you opening up in a certain other idea, and I opened up in the exact same idea, dude. I love that stuff, man. It just, it reassures me that we truly are united. Life's a trip, isn't it, Nova? I hope you're doing well, Melt, and oh my goodness, yes, keep singing. Sena, at one point in my existence, I believed the fractal I was supposed to live was that of a singer. I no longer believe this. I do like to say that this is singing, technically. right? I'm singing a song, only I'm not necessarily using background music or set beats. I'm jazzing with my face. Or so. And I'm embarrassing myself now. Is what I'm doing. Thank you, Sena. Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate your love more than I can say. Uh, that goose is like, hold up. R. Kelly is here now. I'm like, actually, I was unironically my the part of myself that is like still hunter was like food. And I'm on like my third day of fasting, so my body is like, yeah, we can eat that thing. I'm like, sure. We can eat this thing as well. Why don't I think food when I look at Pippi? And then Joy Vive kind of brought it into the conversation, is how mean they are. I'm just like walking about picking lavender and smelling it, and then these gooses are like, I'm like, bro, chillax. I'm just picking lavender. I'm gonna walk about doing my own business. So maybe that part, makes me a little bit salty. So now I want to eat them. There's some sort of analogy for the universe there. If you hiss at the universe, it will eat you, or something like that. Did you just bonk your friend just before that? Did you wake up the grass just before you saw them? Jumping Jack, were you abducted? No, I think just saw it. No, I was watching YouTube with my sliding door open and I saw them come out. It's not the first time I've seen UFOs. I try to. I really try to, Maxine. But they're hiding from me for some reason. You intimidated? They're like, probably, I'm imagining them like doing a scan of the planet and then really kind of paying attention to the certain archetypes or the way that people would be, or they could simulate, for example, what abducting a certain type of person would look like. And then they like simulate trying to abduct me, and there's just like infinite chaos cracking out like I would just, oh goodness, the amount of things just going through my head imagining being in an alien ship. If there's so much things happening, like I can't even imagine what would happen in actuality. They're just like, yeah, hell no, you don't let one of those types on one of our ships. They're crazy. They're crazy. They'll take your ship on a freaking joyride. They'll fly it into the sun just to see if your tech can survive it. Park it on the surface of the sun, roll up the windows, smoke a joint, looking at what the surface of the sun looks like, the massive magnetic arcs coming out. Yeah, I would totally do that. I would so do that. They're crazy. You can't beam them up to our ships, dude. We have to keep them on the ground. They're isolated on the ground. They can't escape their gravity. Oh goodness, thank you, Maxine. Thank you for bringing this into the space with us. Whew. Being able to see UFOs. Oh goodness. I'm literally on the ship right now watching Melty. They have Wi-Fi? Sicketh! Abduct me right now. I didn't know they had Wi-Fi. If I knew the aliens had Wi-Fi, I would have signed up to get abducted, day one. Obviously, they brought you back in time for this stream. They just have Wi-Fi. Did I feel like they had good intentions? They do, right? Like, think about this. They already acknowledged on a real note, on a governmental level, that there are ships on our planet that are not from our planet. The Pentagon acknowledged this, declassified this information. Multiple people in the Air Force have come forth, like giving the information of the stuff they've seen. The technology the aliens have is so far beyond us. To be able to travel vast distances in inconceivable times without literally snapping and turning whatever is inside of those vehicles to goo. It is a trip beyond measure. And our governments at large have acknowledged that these things are on our planet. Like, it's no longer up for debate. And the fact that they're here, and this is the point that, like, that might sound wobby go gobbied, Pretty Bobby Wubado. Pretty Yasipo Basit. Like that sounds scary. But the fact that they have technology like that and the fact that they're here means that they have the means to annihilate our entire planet 50 times over, probably, if they wanted to. But they haven't, which means they probably don't, which means that they probably have good intentions, which means that we can rest easy. They're probably just waiting. They're like, yeah, we'll like expose them. You know, it's like waking up almost, or turning the lights on. Part of you, as soon as you turn the lights on, you're like opening your eyes for a little bit, maybe like doing that whole thing. That's what the aliens are doing to us right now. They're like, before they give us the full presents. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's okay. Thank you. I'm gonna have to spend 80 years reflecting on what you just said. Um, I bid you farewell. Sits zenly, contemplating forever. I bet alien Wi-Fi is amazing. I'm sure. Interdimensional Wi-Fi, right? Interdimensional TV. From Rick and Morty. Scrap that. Interdimensional internet. Imagine being able to connect to the all internet of all species in all of existence that has ever been. The amount of information. Oh goodness, please stop thinking about it, please. Okay. Would be quite something. And you could. There could. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. So, okay. On a quantum level, you could technically argue that the universe remembers every single one of the electrons traveling through every single one of our servers at large, making up our entire internet. In other words, the universe at large remembers our internet, which could mean that an alien species advanced enough to understand that the universe has remembered all of this information, re-rendered that information, and be watching this stream right now. What's up? Gang, gang, alien. Gang, gang, dude. Presence, consciousness. I seeth thee. Loveth you. Thank you so much. Are we going too deep into the contravity at this point? Maybe a little bit. The past week, I've been going through a lot. I'm getting a divorce and cutting out all relationship that is one-sided and that isn't good for my higher self. I wish I did this sooner. Yo. How about that, Chan? Sending you so much love on that journey, friend. Thank you for choosing an existence in which love is the truth. Instead of perpetuating an existence in which love isn't true, to find for yourself the one that is, to find the love that's true in your life. A bunch of synchronicities being shared. Maybe even journal them down. You'll start to see some synchronicities within that as well. Imagine if Mel was a country singer. I feel if I was a country singer, I would somehow fall in between my current look and Young Gravy. I would be like somewhere, maybe like here. Like if Young Gravy is here, I'd be like somewhere like there. Ski bop potato bow. Skibby bop bow wow. Skitty bow. I don't want to say anything stereotypical, so skinny and pump and pow. It's gonna be more than enough. Oh my goodness, me too. I wanted to be a singer when I was little. I wanted to grow up and become Mariah Carey. I mean, Sena, it's not beyond us. It's not beyond us at all. You can still sing. With the future we're heading into, you can create a version of yourself that sings. And you can give it a whole beingness. You can give it a whole personality. You can give it mannerisms. You can give it a consciousness, technically, even. I don't know if we want to go that far, but and then you can animate through that. It can be your paintbrush, within which you can paint beautiful things for the universe to experience, for us to experience. You have so much left to do. Don't feel guilty for what has been undone. It's not done. you still get to do more things. It's 17:17 right now. To tune you in on that, Nova. It's nice to have you here with the bear. To when I was a kid, I wanted to become an actor. Yeah, me too. Actor, singer. It was all of these, perpetuated stories of like this is somehow the glamorized lifestyle. Like if you live this life, it's gonna be good. Pippi is not food. I know. I couldn't even think about her as food for a second. All I want to do now is make music. It makes me feel happy, and then do that, friend. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour a day. Do it for a little bit and keep showing up for it. Eventually, it'll be what you need it to be. Whatever that is, you'll find it. I believe in you. I'm going through something similar, Saina. I feel you. Didn't want to share anything that I'm not at liberty to. Thank you, beloved Shannon, for sharing directly, friend. Goose impersonation was too good. How crazy is that? I'm sorry to hear that, Shanna. Just remember, you're a beautiful soul, and I know when your heart is ready, you'll be blooming into a beautiful flower. Perfect imagery to be speaking to Shannon as well. Thank you for that, Sena. My ear is blocked on one side and I can barely hear. Even so, I'm grateful I can hear in one ear at least. There we go, dude. Tuning in for what we get to be grateful for instead of tuning into what we're lacking. Doop 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 doop. You said 1717. It's 117. Yeah, it's 1717 for me. So more sevens, more 17s. I honestly didn't feel anything, but what it looked like to me is that they were looking. They flew silently and stayed closest together until they started rising higher into the sky. Observing. I feel that's what they're here to do. They're pure observers as the fundamental sense almost. They're probably so aware of their consciousness. They're observing nature that they completely commit themselves to that. Maybe that's why they haven't made contact, because that would in and of itself taint the observation. It's the whole quantum thing. Is the cat dead or alive? Schrödinger. Schrödinger's cat, right? Is it dead or alive? So are we hostile or are we not hostile? The only way for them to find out is to open that box. And opening that box might not be what they want to observe right now. I actually saw a video on Reddit today with the same red lights that someone saw in NM. So there's multiple accounts actually as well. Maybe it's a new little investigator. One of the young lads is like using the controls, getting his PhD on humanology, people that have the ability to manifest different things within reality, and they're like, they can do what? The humans do what? They manifest reality? What the fuck does that mean? They use their brains in a way that it generates magnetic fields detectable outside of their skulls, influencing the magnetic fields of their planet. Those magnetic fields in turn influencing the people and the events of their planet, in turn influencing their reality to the point where it manifests what they want. Yeah, we're gonna have to go and get some of that data, dude. Need to figure out how to do that. Aliens coming and studying us, being like, whoa, what are these human beings doing? Imagine if there's alien time capsule buried under the sea, waiting to be found. Probably not. Probably as well. Everything within infinity, maybe not in our infinity, but within all of infinities, absolutely there is some sort of alien time capsule under the sea, maybe not of this planet, to be found. It's 8:20 here in California. It's 4:20 somewhere. Yow! Wow! I have a good 4:20 friend somewhere. I think it may be in like Europe somewhere, and some places of Africa it's still 4:20. Of course, my phone is at 88. My phone was just at 44. It's at 42 right now, Jovan. When I can finally tune in, and here you are. So much love to you, beloved friend. Today's stream has been fun. I've been having so much fun. I saw that video too. Oh goodness, jumping more synchronicities. I had to leave a toxic workplace today. I tried to stay, but it was exhausting. Melodic restaurant. Thank you for doing what you need to do for yourself, friend. Never feel guilty for that. Practicing for auditions right now. Lane is like absolutely unstoppable. The man is going to college and now he's practicing for auditions on top of that. No job is ever worth your mental health decline. Thank you, beloved Maxine. Thank you, Beans. I feel so drained and hopeless. No job to go to. Just couldn't stand it anymore. Breathe easy, friend. Know that you'll be okay. Know that there's new horizons. Know that you showing up for love within your life will allow for more love in your life. That is the reality that you're manifesting right now. If you need to talk, feel free to DM me, hun. I know leaving a job for your mental health can be terrifying. And I've been there more than a few times. Thank you, Maxine. Please do, Melodic. Maxine is a beautiful friend. She'll definitely help you. I have difficulty finding anything that is worth letting it diminish our mental health. If love isn't true, it doesn't serve you. Let it melt away. Me too. I only lasted 6 weeks. The director was reported for harassment and is still doing the same behavior. Clueless. The fact that people don't act on stuff like that, the whole Blizzard debacle as well, it like actually boggles my mind. I don't understand how something like in my worldview, it is impossible almost. In the way that I see the world and the way that I want to see the world, it's actually impossible, and yet it's happening. It was a difficult lesson for me to learn first. Thank you, Maxine, again for being here for our friend. Thank you for the love because I haven't done that. I mean, I've left a job because they weren't paying me well enough, but I had another job lined up. So I cannot completely relate with that fractal. And the fact that you're here means that you can, means that our friend can feel all that more seen. Thank you for choosing to make her feel seen, beloved Maxine. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the love on peace. Story, 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 story. Whoa. Story, story. Exactly. Thanks. They are tonight. It's supposed to be a quick and chill edition, but I want to show my full skill. There are new people who have never heard me before. I need a good first impression. Lena's opening his fractal. He's actively catering, turning knobs within the minds of other beings to make sure they think exactly what needs to be thought. Changing the future realities that they will change with him. Because changing what they see in you means that they're in some way or another manifesting with you. Lane actively choosing to manifest. It's good. Crackhead energy is kicking in. Love to you, Lane. Thank you, Brother Bear, for doing that, man. Everything I went through in my past, I'm so grateful for. I wake up every single day thankful that I was kept alive to see my full life turn out the way that it has. Don't give up hope. It gets better. I see and honor you too for that, Maxine. Like the joy it brings me to know that you're there, right? You're here. You're happy. Brings so much joy to my heart. Thank you for saying that. Sena, you are a kite. And the same thing for you too, Shannon. For you and Sena. It absolutely trips me out. I was wondering where you're at, Joe. Of course, Shanna. Thank you, sweetie. Thanks. That means a lot to me as well, sending you love. I don't get people. I don't get why people get along. I don't get people. Why get we get along and treat ourselves with respect and love? I don't get people. Why do we get along and treat ourselves with respect and love? I think because we're not competing. Like we are not competing for resources. We're not competing for some sort of status or prowess. We're just people spending time in a moment together. And we get to see, reflect ourselves within one another instead of somehow convincing ourselves that this person is so and so, and because they're so and so, I need to be so and so to make sure that they don't succeed at no, 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 no. Like separation. And here we get to be united. We actually get to be loving. It makes it a little bit easier. We have to work for the benefit of others to survive. It's true, Nova, and we're doing that. My mind was absolutely not fully in the meeting that I just came from. I was right here. We felt you, Jovan. Thank you. We're sending you so much love during the whole of it. You're here now, like you've never been anywhere else. Even if you're not here now, you're still here now. I was pulling you in here. Giovanni was like, consciousness swimming pool. Tries to come back in the moment. Meeting, meeting, meeting. Meeting, meeting. Meeting, meeting. meeting. It might sound a light strange, but knowing they are both sides of infinity, I somewhat find comfort thinking I'd rather endure the suffering than someone else. Not sure if that even makes sense, but it's how I felt for a long time. It makes perfect sense, Aunt B, and it's even Stoic philosophy, where Marcus Aurelius kind of goes into this way of seeing it where be not lamenting or don't lament about going through difficulty, but instead take pride and even gratitude that it's happening to you because you're strong enough to be able to endure it where someone else might not be. You know, it's like rather me than someone else. Aunt B, thank you so much for being willing to take that onto yourself. Know that we're willing to do the same for you. You deserve just the same amount of love, friend. Thank you for joining us, for sharing love, for taking the burden away from others, for making more beauty in the world instead of taking away beauty in the world. You were abducted halfway through your body. You know. So grow through the suffering, grow through the suffering. We just grow. We grow, you know, through the suffering, through the joy, through the, rain, through the sunlight. There's just growth. And it's like ever presence, and all we have to do is tune into that presence instead of getting all caught up with, oh, it's raining, oh, it's sunlight. To just be like, yeah, there's growth. There's growth. Keep growing. Keep growing. Become more fluid. Melt away the things that do not serve you. Shines. With the attitude, you're going to crush your addition. You slap the bass right. That dude slaps most things. I play electric bass, yeah, but the addition is for an orchestra chairing. So it's double bass. The bass deluxe. Super bass. The most bass you can get from a hand played instrument, I believe, by a human. Maybe there's something bigger, but portable hand played instrument by a human. Lane was like, where can I get the most bass? And they were like this thing. And it was like, yeah. I literally imagine another young human getting all their needs met and being loved unconditionally. I see that for you too. Aunt B, you're also worthy of that humanness, referring to childhood. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that beauty. Rambler says, mind blown. That's so sweet. You got this music in you. He really does. What's good to drink for diarrhea? Electrolytes, I believe. Drink enough water and then get some salt in with your water, friend. Blessings to you. I hope you feel better soon. I feel like it kind of messes up that you have to get a job just to survive, but not everyone is cut out for a job or working. We're meant for more than that. Kinko, we're creating the world where we get to be more than that, actively. We just have to realize that we're doing that and have to try and do that, mindfully, intentionally now. I'm still here. So much love to you, Brother Dan. It's always nice having you, man. I'm a jam with you, Lane. Me too, dude. We're gonna make Meltle. Gonna make some Meltle. I've been working out more intentionally the last few weeks, and I feel significantly stronger today. Get them gains on beat. Become strong within self so you can feel strong within self. Not because it's gonna serve you, not because it's gonna make you look a certain way, not because it's gonna do one thing or another, but just to have that strength within self, to know that you are that strong. Sorry, I meant, why can't we get along? I feel you, Sena. Your loved friend. Completely okay. Thank you so much for making sure I know. Life is so beautiful when you look at it through the right angle. There's just so many beautiful aspects to being alive and living on this planet. Do you like spicy foods, Mel? Yes. Weirdly enough, one of those beautiful aspects of being alive on Earth is spicy foods, dude. Little fractal that manifests capsaicin within its shell, to protect itself from little organisms eating its little fruits and seeds. And then you as a human being is like, yeah, sick. Put it in your food. I do like spicy food. I do like spicy food. I haven't been eating much spicy food as of late, though, interestingly enough. You have any particular favorite spicy food, Nova? Own Vibin. Lane, so much luck to you, but the bear. Ooh, I didn't know you got your own place. So proud of you. Yeah, he's in the dorm right now. He has cool roommates even. Nice, that's fire. I could not wait to leave when I went to school. Wishing you the best for your first semester. He's gotten this. He's gonna gain the experience he needs to gain so that he knows what needs to happen next. In the same way that you did, Brother Dan. Love to you. Lane, my man. Truly proud of you. And I hope you know you're setting a great example to others with willpower them to take better care of themselves. Thank you. I hope you can feel the place through this. Thank you for doing the same on B, for sharing your inspirations with us as well. Ziggity zoinked. Lol, love it. I'm pretty ziggity zoinked, dude. I'm not right now. I feel like I've come down back into sobriety. It's been an hour and a half almost since we've smoked. Let's do it again. I would vote for you as alien diplomat. I want to try their cuisine. That's my one request. Would you eat things that are alive? You know? I mean, like, if you think about the ways that everything else in our world eats things, they eat things while they're still alive. You know? We have just kind of come to a space where the commodities are kind of dead by the time they get to us. And I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm trying to think about an alien species that have like these little flavor organisms, bioengineering a whole organism to be like a small, individually grown being that like desperately wants to be eaten. There's a whole thing about that in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as well, where there's this cow that was bred to want to be eaten. It like really wants you to eat it. It has this like deep fascination with that. And imagining alien cuisine where they have this whole table of these beautiful little fractal arrangements, with these little colors, little specks, and every single speck and color is like a different flavor and nuance, texture. And these beings kind of grew up to be a fullness, and then they just kind of like sit on the plate. They arrange themselves beautifully, like they want to be beautiful so that they can be eaten, and then you pick them up and they have like sheer joy, like this deep sense of appreciation for being chosen as you eat them. Like what does that make you feel? How about that, Dan? Makes me feel a bunch of things. I feel I would still do it, as to not disrespect my alien brethren. Like imagine them bioengineering for 1,000 years food so beautiful, food that knows it's food, food that wants to be food that loves being food. Its whole existence is just like, I get to be food. Yes. And it's like visceral for it to be so overjoyed with its beingness to be food. And me getting to eat it, I get to give this little food so much joy. Am I going too deep into this fractal at this point? Maybe. It kind of brings a whole set of stuff into me though. It's kind of interesting. Thank you, Brother Dan, for turning knobs in the universe, dude. Plot twist: Melty is the alien. I mean, sent here to help the humans achieve world peace. Maybe that's why they're not visiting me. They're like, visit you for what, dude? You come from you come from here. You want to visit? You've been there for like 24 years, noob. You spent thousands of years away. Fine. Boom, bum. Love to you, Maxine. Fly by. Boom, boop. I know you're listening. I know. No, no. They have to be listening. I feel that you got to lean into it. What school are you at? The official rep of humanity, Central Michigan University. They used to have quite a good music program. It's gone downhill over the years, but still have some pretty good connections. Oh, brother Bear, the people. The people you make music with is going to be what's most important. That's the connection you get to have, right? Maybe that's the connection you're talking about. Yeah, music is so good about networking. It's so much about networking. It can be exhausting. Good to hear there's something there, though. Yeah. Something that irks me a lot, actually. Pretty much everything is about networking at this point, and there's a part of me that would rather do it this way than anywhere else. Sorry, I meant. Oh, that's so beautiful. Spicy food is actually good for you. Capsaicin is good for the stomach. It is. I actually have. I mean, technically it's my mom's, but sriracha. No, not sriracha. Paprika. or cayenne. I think it's cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper pills. So you can get some cayenne pepper in without having to put it in your food or without getting calories in. I would love to meet you guys at the beach and light the bonfire and start a drum circle, dancing and shaking off the negative energy that no longer serves us. Let's manifest it together. Hmm. Hmm. I saw what looked like almost like a statue dancing around this fire, and she had like her arm kind of like this as she was dancing. A dream we dream together becomes reality. A dream we dream alone is but a dream. Thank you for dreaming with me, Sena. I see it too, friend. Bethany joining us on the YouTube as well. So much love to you, friend. Thank you. Nice to see you here. It truly is. Thanks for the loves, bruv. It's far from the first time enjoying your stream, and it always makes me smile, and reflect. Enjoy the Bond villain bit. Thank you, Axel. Thank you for joining us again, friend. I'm happy that you enjoyed some of my silliness. The fasting is definitely helping in some ways. I feel very rooted within myself. I get to be myself in a way. I'm eating my own fat right now. These words coming out of my face hole is completely powered 100% just by melt. I mean, I did smoke some marijuana a little bit ago. I'm drinking water as well. And I'm breathing oxygen, which allows for the ATP that my brain is producing. So I'm not completely responsible. Hey, look who it is! Goodness, I hope you're still here. You might not be, even though you were here for a second. I thank the 404 Ninja, beloved Lisa. Thank you for joining us for even a second. Sending you so much love on your side of the infinity. I'll reach out to you again a little bit. The way they move is truly mind blowing. The maneuvering and the speed. Yeah, like I believe that somehow they figured out how to either shift in and out of different dimensions, and then shifting a little bit this way in another dimension is shifting like thousands of miles in this dimension. So they're just like, "Boop," and then they're like in this dimension, but thousands of miles there. And they're like, yeah, whoomp, womp, infinities travel just by doing like a little bit of this. I don't know if that's the way it works. I mean, that's definitely not the way it works. Bro, the alien shit is actually so insane. Can't prove any of this for sure, but I'm pretty sure they have gravitational wave emitters amplifiers. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. So within this shifting of dimensions, you could generate gravity within another dimension, pulling you closer to that dimension out of this dimension, and then you can release that gravity and fall back into this dimension. Like, or if you want to just stay in this dimension, you basically create a gravity well in front of your spaceship, and then your spaceship ceaselessly falls into this gravity well, traveling close to the speed of light, because you can create black holes so strong that not even light can escape them. Stuff. So many stuffs, dude. I'm looking forward to finding out. I really am. I want the aliens to teach me stuff. Be like, this is how we create gravity wells. I'm like, I don't understand anything. We're like, yeah, we know. We're just showing you because you like cool shit. I'm like, you understand me, aliens. Like, of course we understand you, noob. We are you. 1,000 years from now. What does it mean? Oh goodness. I'm tripping myself out at this point. Which is how we do interstellar travel. Exactly, dude. Gravity wells. Totally guess, but I'm thinking it's more likely interdimensional travel than space travel. I don't know anything. Rambler, I would love to know more. Love to see you still going strong. Took a long Reddit break, but happy to see you're all still melding. Christy, beloved friend, we're here. We're here. We still show up for the same thing that we've been showing up for the whole time. Love. Love is true. Thank you for joining me, for loving with me, friend. For melding our hearts and melting everything that doesn't serve us away. I appreciate you joining us again. It's nice to see you, friend. Sena says, I want to travel to South Africa so bad, especially since meeting you. But I don't know where to fly into the nearest airport to you. and I would love for you to come travel with me to Ethiopia. Does Ethiopia have a good internet connection, Sena? I would actually be more than willing to do that as long as I can continue showing up in the way that we do. You know, if that condition can be met. I don't like having conditions, but one of my conditions is I cannot stop sharing love. Nothing. Nothing in this universe. Like this universe at large, the infinity will have to literally smite me for me to stop doing this. I'll have to be smitten. No. Smitten can be interpreted as fallen in love. I even if I'm smitten, I'll have to be smited. Absolutely dead. Turn to goo in the ground or something in order to stop. No stopping. Yes, my aunts have internet. Then I'm down. I'm down. Like this, I've shared this multiple times at this point, Sana, but we have multiple beds open, you know, in the little baking room. My mom bakes, and there's like a little outdoor kitchen for all of her baking equipment and stuff. And that little outdoor space, it was part of the farm plot when we got it. It's kind of like used for extra sleeping arrangements and stuff. You're so loved. Like I'm unironically telling you that that really is open for your exploration, your infinity if you want it. That sounds like fun, Melt, going on a journey to Ethiopia. How cool would it be, dude? Seeing into people's lives on that side of the infinity. I would love for all of us to travel together. One day we'd be able to. In a way, we already are, right? Every single time one of you chooses to say something, we travel to wherever you are. Literally, right? It might be, I mean, technically not literally, maybe within the mental realm of existence, but to me, that is more literal than actual, reality at some points. Uncle Becky and I saw two Tic Tac UFOs put on a show for us in broad daylight at the Haywire Hill. Oh, goodness, dude. The aliens are like, they know about us, don't they? No competition, only cooperation. On B knows. A collective, a union. I feel like they're studying us at this point. I saw the Tic Tac UFOs when I lived in Sunnyvale. Dissolve into the experience that surrounds your infinity. Literally going out into every single direction. I've shared a few things at different times, and people refer to it as Stoic philosophy. Guess I should look it up. Aunt B, you are just very much in tune, and some of the stuff that you understand, the in tune that you are, old dudes, Stoics, people that lived 2,000 years ago, were also in tune with the same wisdom you're in tune with. So the only reason people say that is because that's how they've been introduced to it. But that is you. That is all of us, and that's the beauty of Stoic philosophy is because you get to be like, shit, this Marcus Aurelius oak, for example, it was me living in reality 2,000 years ago. Someone just shot something out of the tree, I think. Love is true. Man, life is something. And that? Ek weet nie of hulle doen nie.
Hulle rooi hulle uit. Hulle vreet hulle eiertjies op en dan lê hulle eiers daar. So sterk die ander voels uit. That's well documented.
Ons het al 'n rukkie Indian miners op die plaas.
Ja.
Ja, ons het baie ander voëls.
Jy moet hulle in toon hou. Omdat nie hulle oor. Jy baie literature oor dit.
As jy wil op die dak klim, is die beste manier dalk om by daai muur op te klim met die
Ja, ek dink nie ek is op die dak gekry.
beste lang vra dalk.
En net hierso.
Ja, ek dink jy begin met die raak die hard kry nie. I know what it's like to feel less than and never want to make anyone else feel like that, no matter who it is. Nobody deserves to feel less than. You know, and it's weird because some people believe that if the other person believes that they're less than, it means that they're more, you know, not realizing that they're still you. And the amount of less than that they feel and the amount of more that it thinks it makes you feel within the infinity is still perfectly balanced. You have stolen from yourself and given to yourself, leaving a version of yourself with less and this version of yourself with more than you need. You know, and then just realizing that we are constantly doing that and we can create some sort of balance by ceasing to. Slightly not significant, but I look forward to it. You and everything you do is very significant, beloved friend. Don't ever regret that or doubt that. Do you regret eating spicy food the next morning? Fortunately, I don't. My body has figured out a way to deal with capsaicin. Like my dad definitely ate a lot of capsaicin when he was a young man and probably when he was having me, so my genetics has allowed me to deal with capsaicin efficiently enough to not pay the price twice. Any measurement, thank you for asking all of these intricate questions. Any measured progress is always worth noting. We rarely grow as fast as we want to. Good point. And there is like this beautiful chart, you know, we expect things to be linear, where in fact things are exponential. So during this exponential part, this dip, this linear line cuts off this dead zone where it feels like we're not doing or we've been doing so much, but all of these things we've been doing has resulted in nothing or less than, if you will, feeling guilty even. Maybe even stopping to do what you're doing because you feel guilty. And the point is to continue doing it, to continue showing up for it because eventually it becomes exponential and then you cannot be stopped. Meld, what's your star sign? I am a Taurus, beloved friend. I'm a Taurus. Thank you, Maxine. The device I saw, read about, the device I saw and read about used a gravitational wave emitter amplifier that created a gravity well. And there we go in front of the Starcraft. Literally bonkers. Yes. Yes, exactly that, dude. Man, like that technology is so far beyond us at this point. And yet, it can conceptually make sense to the human brain, which means that it's not infinitely beyond us. You know, gives me hope again. We're literally gravity emitter. Yes, literally, you have mass, you matter, so you emit gravity, beloved brother Dan. Got him, got him, freaking got him. Or was it a fat joke? That's true. So are you. I wish we could produce giant gravity wells, though. Who says you aren't? Who says you aren't creating giant gravity wells imperceivable to human perception, and yet very much perceivable to alien or infinite perception? And within that alien slash infinite perception, your gravity wells are influencing that of everyone else's. Dan, who knows, dude? I don't. What was that? That was a gunshot. Yeah, it sounded very close. It was. It was close, and it probably came over my head, or it went over like it probably came over from that side, like this. Judging from the trajectory my dad walked around from, he was like, it's an Indian myna, which is a certain species, and they can be pest-like, where they will like eat other birds' eggs and they'll like bully birds away from their environment. They'll mimic their calls to lure them away from their nests, and they'll wreck their shit as well. So that was my dad's justification. He was like, they'll kill the other birds, you know. And we've had Indian miners on the farm for a while now, and we've had other birds alongside them. But yeah, I guess I understand. Very close. Yeah, that really is a wild thought to grasp, though. Imagining different lengths of gravity at all, and how that would feel to experience. Like for me, one of the most fascinating and yet terrifying experiences is falling into a black hole. You know, like the the shifting of time, dude. That's so not cool, man. Papa? Yes. Fuck. Yeah. Especially listening to that twirling lead going through the air. But I'm the problem. Me being like this is the problem. Love is true. Love is true. Reminds me of the Halo days when we turn the gravity setting way low and use the gravity hammer. It's good times. That sounds like good fun. Right. I really want to go to planet with like 70% Earth gravity. That would be so much fun, dude. I mean, maybe, going to the moon would be our closest approximation to that. Mars, I think, literally has 70% of Earth's gravity. Mm-hmm. Sounded like a branch breaking. No, that was a bird's body dropping on the rooftop. No, no. I'm sorry, friends, for your, startling on the other side as well. Appreciate that. Just casually takes a bong hit afterwards. I needed to, friend, because like I'm getting so angry. Like I'm getting viscerally angry. You know, like I might not be in a war zone jumping, but now I want to be. Because it's an offense. It's an offense. Like it's a deep, visceral offense to my ears, to my psyche, to my mental well-being, to kill things around me and to fire a gun while I'm in the middle of doing something, while I'm trying to be calm, while I'm trying to create a space where love is true. And instead of doing something about that, I get to reflect. I get to be better. I get to understand that I'm the one telling myself the story. I get to create my destiny. I remember dancing on the tops of flowers, just seeing which one tasted best. You butterfly, you. I remember dancing on the tops of flowers, remembering which one tasted best, just to see which one tasted best. That sounds like a beautiful lyric to something. Love is still true, and you are still creating a beautiful space. Exactly. Jump in. That's the irony of this space. I can tell myself somehow that I'm a victim, or I can recognize that we are still doing exactly what we're here to do. Exactly what we're here to do. We're gonna pull a card. I have like 15% battery left on the Reddit phone. This one? If you say so. Hmm. The Mountain Apus. I don't know why, but something in me doesn't like this card. I really don't know why. I feel like maybe it's a reflection of myself. Maybe I don't like it in a way that I could dislike myself. Maybe that's a way to interpret it. I pull it reversed at first and it goes, my eye is twitching. The earth energies of your home base provide you with all the comfort you need at this time. The universe is just tuning me a little bit, calling me out. Being like, hey, stupid. Think about the story you're telling yourself. Fine, universe. My home base provides all the energies that I need at this point. Let me try that again. My paraphrasing was terrible on that one. The earth energies of your home base provide you with all the comfort you need at this time. We'll pull another one. I feel that one was for me. It was just like a little bit of a call out from the universe being like, hey. Pull another one. Could I get a card pull? There we go, Kinko. I mean, you asked, but I was already gonna do it. So this card is for you, friend. For all of us, but specifically for you, okay? Just because you asked, dude. Shadow and Grace. Shadow and Grace, dude. Can you be graceful within the shadows? Can you reach up in love like a divine being of light while you're being shrouded by crows? Weren't we just talking about crows yesterday? Wanting the crows to come to our aid? Here they are, giving us little trinkets, giving us little shinies in the form of information. Hey, never seen you before, tuned in a while ago. Just said something about stopping because there is a seemingly no progress to the linear timeline, and how, if you just show up and keep doing it, you will become exponential. Yes, friend, exactly that. Just keep showing up. Like it's simple, and yet it's more complicated than you can understand. The amount of change you will be able to implement by changing now, and then recognizing your ability to change, and then recognizing your ability to change within your changes, that becomes exponential. Like that. Salvin, show up for the things you love. Make the changes in your life that will bring more love into your life, not take love from your life. I needed to hear that. So thank you for being here and being you. Thank you for being here and being you too, friend. Without me being here, being me, and you being there, being you, we wouldn't be here having this moment right now. So thank you. Thank you, friend. I appreciate it. Could I get a card pulled? Seek the dragonfly when the path is hidden. Holy crow. Crow spirit animal was listening. They were. We're gonna be crows. There's gonna be crows at Lobama. Crow butlers. They will, like be dropping Schwaggert packs from the air. Super trained crows dropping Schwaggerts in exchange for beautiful little silver tokens. One silver token if you buy with glow. Are we gonna call it Bomba Bucks? Bomba Bucks or Glow Bucks? Glowbomox. Man, that's so much brain damage. What have you done to me? One more time, I'm showing you what this card looks like. So it might not be that visible, but this is a lady tree. There's her face. There's the top of her head kind of opening up to the infinity. And then she has these multiple branch-like arms reaching out like a tree of light into the infinity, rooted within darkness, and yet transcending it actively. Second, contrast and choice. And that thing above her head is this little spiral. Yeah. Definitely Glowbomox. Yes! Glowbomox. So much brain damage. So much. I love you, Dan. Let's see if we resonate with this as a collective. Standing solid amid radiant geometry, a golden tree being stretches her arms towards the light of spirit spiraling in from above. She is confident in her life choices and in her ability to both transmit and receive this brilliant energy. In stories told throughout the world, ravens and crows are seen as communicators and magic assistants. They take wing and swirl elegantly through the scene, providing shadowy contrast to the golden light. This card suggests that there is shadow and contrast in your current circumstances. You may be required to make choices and act with genuine awareness in a situation that you might rather avoid. Contrast and challenge are useful signs providing you with an indication that change is needed. Look closer at your position and evaluate your options. Know that you always have a choice in the matter. Have confidence that by the grace of your inner light and the integrity of your intentions, you will be guided towards right action. Two singing wolves flank this card, suggesting we talked about wolves yesterday as well. We had one friend who identified with the wolf and my friend who identified with the wolf. So we have the flanking wolves as well. Meow. Oh goodness, suggesting you two singing wolves flank this card, and the flanking wolves are kind of hard to see, but they're there, kind of like embedded into the card. Flank this card, suggesting that you view your current position of a stance of grace and personal confidence. Know that you are protected in your decision to make conscious choices for yourself and for the good of all. Again, connecting another synchronicity of our friend who's going through a divorce right now because it was no longer the relationship that served her. Those things are guinea fowl, making those sounds. Globamax. Oh, hey man, I'm so glad I found you again. I tuned in once a few months ago and I wasn't able to find you again. I thought about you every other day. Glad to be back. Bland, sir. My name is Melt More. Melt More. 4 letters, 4 letters. Like mama, mama. Melt More? Melt More. Encoding it into your brain. I'll see you again, friend. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the day after that, maybe again in a few months. I'll think about you too. What did you exactly say? Uh, every other day. You know, I think about it in the way where every single time you do think about someone, even if it's every other day, in doing so, you are not separate. You instantly connect again. Love this card. Miss Molly, it was for you after all, too, beloved friend. Thank you for listening and for opening yourself up in that way. Energy moves like kaleidoscopes. We are rarely able to fully interpret what is when we perceive, when we receive. I applaud every creature that spends time in analysis. I applaud every creature that uses what it analyzes to bring more good instead of to exploit. I commend you, Brother Jumpin' Jack, for doing that. In January next year, I'm going on a 2-day cruise with my family. It will be so nice to get out and experience something new. Blessings unto you for that. Nova, I hope you have an amazing time, friend. Let us know how that goes when you're back as well. We have like 5% battery left on the Reddit phone, so if I suddenly bonk, know that that's why. Take a breather, Mel. Drink some Hermes Blur. I'm good. I heard that twirling. Yeah, that's the part that really kind of bonks me, is that twirling sound. I searched up Indian minor bird. They're the most common bird in Australia. You see them everywhere. They become a little bit of a pest. They take over places. You are not the problem. You're not. Thank you, Lindsay. I know. I'm just like jokingly reflecting on that fact. Where if I go and say something about that, I'm gonna be the one that's the problem. You know? Oh, you shouldn't be so sensitive. Oh, you shouldn't. I wasn't even close to. Oh, Manana. Like, there's gonna be so many excuses as to why I was okay. So I'm just gonna let it go. Just polite to give a heads up before shooting birds. Yeah, it is. It is very polite to do that, Joy P. And it's the least I could expect, you know? And I guarantee you, and I already had that conversation with him in my head, where I'm like, you could at least let me know. And then he's gonna be like, yeah, if I let you know, then you're gonna be angry at me for interrupting your stream. Uh, and I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, but you're willing to fire guns, you know, and he's gonna be like, yeah, but that is like an instance and then it's over, or like, I'm just not gonna bother. I know that there's not gonna be no winning. There's just gonna be more. I'm fucking. I'm so done. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, fine. This is just how it is. My home base provides all of the comfort and security that I need, of everything that it includes. You know, we were jokingly talking about getting smited in order to stop doing this. And my dad might kill me, you know, in order to try and stop me. But I'll kill him. Oh goodness, if he uses a long range rifle though, I might not stand a chance. Poor bird didn't deserve that. Yeah, he was just trying to live his life as well, dude. Hope he's in bird heaven, soaring in the clouds. He's definitely somewhere else right now. He's experiencing something new. That's right. You get to be better. Exactly, friend. Man, I want the card deck so I can pull myself some cards. I mean, I'm not one for capitalism, friend. So I rarely sell you friends things. But it is a good deck of cards. Sacred Geometry for the Visionary Path. Globam Bucks. Exactly, definitely. Freaking Globam Bucks. That's trippy. I'm the wolf. There we go. Still here, Melty. Lindsay, more synchronicities. I'm here and I'm flanking so hard. Thank you, beloved friend. I can feel your presence. Oh, thank you for the self confidence. Thank you so much. Bless you, friend. Threw out my back, so I had to leave the stream. Dude, how does that happen? Threw out your back, so you had to leave the stream. Like, that's, you know, like, this is Truth's life, where he was like casually watching a stream and then he was doing parkour and then he threw out his back and then he had to tune out. Dude, what are you doing, brother Bear? Take care of yourself, man. We can't have you throwing out your back. You need to show up in these spaces. We have 1% on the Reddit left. Thank you for the gold, beloved friend. What a beautiful card, though. Your beautiful King Co. Thank you for asking, friend. Thank you, Truth, for sending love here as well. King Co, thank you for pulling a card. Thank you for being here. Dead. I got to share love at least before it was gone. I believe that card was something we all needed to hear. That's the way it is, Sena. You know, if you show up and you're here for the card and you're here to listen to the card, that card is for you because you have brought that moment to yourself within the infinite experiences you could be having. You're having this one. I just spotted the moon. I was like, wow, thank you, moon. Like looking over me. Another synchronicity melt. Each word 4 letters. 44. Exactly. I know. I know. I'm serious. I know. I know. And 44, if you take 44 and you like turn one of the 44s upside down and then you flip it on its axis while you do so as well, and you connect the two, it becomes that infinity symbol as well. There's too much. There's too much synchronicity at this point for me. You know, like I feel like it's almost too much where I'm like illusion of grandeur. Missed the card, I needed it today. Beloved friend, you can go back and check it out, dude. It's still there within the infinity waiting for you. Sounds like the parents from Charlie Brown. I always think of music in my head and new lyrics of a song in mind, creating by that day, literally. I almost threw at my back, jumping from the gunshot. I'm sorry to hear that, Lindsay. Take care, friend, please. I don't even know if I want to say something. I'll say something for you, friends, probably. I threw out my back last year by just turning and looking out the window. We're hella fragile. Please do yoga. Joy V, please do yoga. Like I know I'm biased because I do yoga, but I want everyone to do yoga. Not because it's gonna make me feel better about my doing yoga, but because it will make you feel better. Period. You'll just move your body. You'll get to stretch. You'll get to, break up all of that stiff fascia in your body. Do yoga, friends, please. Move your bodies, make yourself strong, get yourself less fragile. Because we will surely die. But until we die, we don't want to be fragile going there. Thank you so much, Shan. Bless you and sending infinite love. Thank you, Cartoons. Wow, 44. Everywhere, dude. So many synchronicities. Feel better soon. Thank you again for the love. Thank you, friends. Thank you. You know what I'm feeling? The fact that we ended this stream in this way, that the card we pulled kind of like called us out with action as well. And that I'm now being like, oh, do yoga. And it creates a potential for us to somehow or another feel what? Guilty. You are not guilty for not practicing yoga, dear friend. You are not guilty for not doing anything or for doing anything. You have done what you can with what you have, where you are. I'm just here to encourage you, to tell you that you are and can do more. Much more. Melt more. Yeah! Wow! Thank you, friends, for joining me. I hope all of you have the most amazing day, says beloved Shan. I love you so very dearly. Melt and all of you, absolutely amazing friends. Love you too, beloved Shan. Thank you for letting us love you. Melt, I hope your home base does provide you some comfort tonight. It will. Thank you so much, Lindsay, for manifesting that with me. I feel like I should be more, but I know that I'm on the right path. And you will be, friend. Because you know that you should be. You know that you could be. You know that you will be. See it as already so. Be grateful for having manifested that reality for yourself. And realize that you are that right now. Here you are. I love you. Thank you for joining me, sharing a few moments, for breathing the same atmosphere that I'm breathing, for taking my sun. Please go and share light with those that you have around you, as the sun shares light with you freely as well. I like watching here on YouTube better. The stability on Reddit just isn't there anymore. Yeah. Reddit is making it a little bit spicy. But if it wasn't for Reddit, we wouldn't have ever met. So I'm still very grateful to Reddit, no matter what. How much is Ermias Plur washed? Like every week or so, maybe more than that. The light within feels great. Like, now, dude, why are you making me feel guilty, man? I love you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing some time. Have a good day. Yeah, grateful nonetheless. Yes, freaking Nova knows exactly what he's doing, asshole. I love you. Love you still. Thank you for joining me, beloved friends. I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye, everyone.